Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a solely bookish video, and that is my quarterly reading wrap up. So altogether this year I have read 9 books, which isn't really what I was going for, but I was starting off pretty strong. Actually no, I didn't start strong. February I started getting strong, but then I kind of just fell off. I read, because I was on a good streak with my reading, but then I started reading a book that kind of just made me feel a bit meh, and I didn't have a job for a bit, and that kind of put me off, and I don't know, it just wasn't vibes. But I'm gonna start with, because I've read a mixture of physical books, ebooks, and what are they called? Audio books. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the physical books because they're right here. I'm not gonna go in order of like what was the first to last books that I've read, because I don't remember. Although I will say this was the first book that I read this year because I got it for Christmas, and that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshisaku Kawaguchi. I think I did pretty well. I've had other people say his name, but love the cover. I've wanted to read this series for ages. I read it, I did half, I dipped in and out of reading it physically, and then listened to it as well because I was working night shift at Sainsbury's at the time, and it's a 10-hour night, so I finished the whole book in one night, and on my break I read it physically, so I only read it physically for like half an hour, but the rest of it I listened to it all in one night. I think that might be my downfall because I don't know, I really enjoy the themes, and I really enjoy the whole concept. I think it's a really good concept, but by the end it kind of it fell flat for me. But I think I shouldn't have listened to it on the course of a 10-hour night shift. I think that was probably what made it like not that great for me. So yeah, and if I had to give it stars, probably 3, because it is very well written and the concept is great and it's pretty well executed, but I didn't really connect with anyone. Again, I think honestly I blame myself. I'm taking the fall for this one because I was in the great space when I was listening and reading. So yeah, I want to read more in the series still. It hasn't put me off. I don't work night shifts anymore, so I'm in a better mood now. So then I read at some point A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. I did a whole reading vlog in this, in my TBR Termination series that I have only done 2 videos in so far. But this was amazing. You can hear all my thoughts on this and see me read it in real time in the vlog. So there you go. No spoilers. If you want to know what I felt, watch the vlog. And then we also have Ignite Me by Tara Muffy. Again, I did a TBR Termination vlog for this. So if you want to know all my thoughts, watch the vlog. And then we have, well, here we have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. I also listened to A Court of Frost and Starlight, again because it's a short book, and I listened to it all in one night at Sainsbury's. But that, I quite enjoyed. I remember really enjoying it. I actually don't remember anything that happened. I remember it was the solstice and they exchanged gifts. It was just vibes, really, and it was good vibes to get me through the night. And the same with A Court of Silver Flames. I mixed between, that's why there's a me here, because I mixed between, I half read it physically and then half listened to it, and I like spicy scenes when necessary. I remember I watched I forget her name at one point, but she was like, this book should have been like that and that. Like, there's so much of the middle that could have been taken out, because it's just sex scenes. That's all it is. And usually it's like, so far in Sarah J. Maas books, I'm like, yeah, that's great, that belongs there. And some of these, okay, but I was just like, it's again obnoxious and annoying, and I actually like Nesta's story. I like more than Feyre's. I was really gripped, and I wanted more focus on her, and I wanted more focus on just her and learning how to fight and learn who she is, and just like a whole arc. I wanted just her arc, and instead I was just watching her arcing with Cassian, and there's no spoilers, everyone knows, like if you're on TikTok or even Instagram with the books, like, you know, it's just like, and it was just below. And I find Cassian obnoxious too. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to get back to her and her friends, really, and mostly her, and more of her and House, because I love their relationship as well, which was so sweet. Don't get me wrong, I love romance and I love love, but this was just like, they want the vibe, which is so annoying, because the plot itself I love. I wish I could just like cut some of the middle out. This is an amazing book, but to be fair, you can just skim all the sex scenes. There's just too many, and it is literally like, you can have loads of sex scenes in a book if the plot ain't that great. The plot was amazing, and so every time we dipped out of the plot for like that, it was just a bit like, oh, but I was really like, you cut my momentum. Yeah. Stars wise, Court of Frost and Starlight, I can't even give it any stars because I don't remember what it was like. I didn't write down how I felt either. 10 out of 10 for vibes. And then Court of Flames, 10 out of 10 for vibes. I will pretend that there isn't 20 billion sex scenes, and that Cassian ain't like, I don't know, he's obnoxious as well. But just for Nesta and her plot, aside from him, 5 out of 5. It was really good. It was amazing. I would reread it. This is the only ACOTAR book that I think I would reread, because I love Nesta. I never thought I'd say that. I really didn't think I'd ever love Nesta. Since I've already spoken about audiobooks, I'll also talk about A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. Again, my downfall is that I listened to it during night shifts, on the course of 2 night shifts, and I don't remember a lot. I don't remember much. I remember enemies to lovers, and I remember some of that, and I remember thinking, this ain't really what I would expect from enemies to lovers. Creepy old men. There was so much emphasis on the fact the main character, whose name I can't remember, was like super hot and everyone wanted her, but because she went to like an all boys school, something like that. I remember bits and bobs and a bit about magic. All in all, I can't give you a rating for it because I don't remember, and I don't even think it's so much down to the fact I don't remember because it wasn't good. I don't remember because I shouldn't have listened to it on night shifts. But I needed something to get me through the night shift. And it got me through. But I can't give you a proper rating for that. This is a pretty crap quarterly wrap up because like half of these I'm like, I don't remember anything. And I didn't take notes. And then we have The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie N. Holmberg. I read this on my Kindle. I put a frog on my Kindle. I made him. He's sweet. Yeah, I read The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms on my Kindle. I mixed between reading it on the Kindle and also listening to the audio when I was playing games, which I had to do because it was really boring. And I would only say it's boring because I find it boring. I think a lot of people wouldn't find it boring. I was really intrigued in the beginning, but it was kind of just like losing me in the middle. But again, I don't blame the book, I blame myself. I'm just blaming myself for all of this. I don't know, it kind of just lost me. And then once I started to feel a bit lost, I then become bored and I didn't really know what was going on. I can't give it a rating because it was just, I'm just too confused by my feelings from it. And then we had Halting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I read that for a book club that I'm in with some ladies that I work with at Tea Room, well, I work with at Tea Room, and my mum. I actually chose that book because we're going in alphabetical order and my name starts with a B and no one else starts with an A. A very intriguing book, very fast paced. It could have been shorter. I don't like any of the characters. Everyone's extremely obnoxious and creepy. The smutty scenes just, they were so extreme, I found them boring. Yeah. To be fair, I think, oh, there's one more book. Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kovar. Again on my Kindle. Again, Halting Adeline was also on my Kindle. Elise Kovar, I read not last year, the year before, 2022. Something Air by her. She's very good, and a lot of her books on Kindle are like on Unlimited. I really liked Deal with the Elf King. It's actually the most recent book that I read, but I've again been a bit slower, but I want to read more of her books. I really liked it. It was about well, a girl who makes a deal with the Elf King. I'm definitely going to read more. She does a lot of fantasy romance, but they're not just reliant on the two characters' relationship. They're really good plots and really good worlds that she makes. So this one didn't leave me confused at all. 5 out of 5 stars. Overall, I'd say that, like, what's it? The doorbell's ringing. Oh my god. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think quarterly reading wrap-ups have a structure. But I've done it like this. It doesn't matter. I've read so far this year. Ignite Me. And I know it's my favourite book that I've read so far this year because it brought out the most emotion in me in a positive way. I loved it. One of my favourite series ever written. The worst book I've read this year. I will only say A Study in Drowning, only because I hardly remember it. It's the one I remember the least. So I can't really put it anywhere but last because I don't remember anything. But I mean, context-wise, probably The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms as well. I don't know. My best times were Deal with the Elf King, A Court of Silver Flames, A Curse of True Love, and Ignite Me. Those are my best times. which makes sense for me because they are more my thing. Fantasy and sci-fi, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, all in all, I've had an iffy reading year so far. I really want to deep dive into more fantasy series. Eragon is sitting right there looking at me. I read the first book, Eragon, in 2019, and I adored it. I loved it, devoured it. It sent me to another dimension. But then I didn't have a lot of money back then, so I never got around to buying the rest, and then years passed. It's been 5 years. Oh my god. It's been 5 years. My brother has the whole series, so I'm gonna take them, and I would love to do a reading vlog of me reading the entire Eragon series. The books get bigger and bigger as you go along, but I love me some dragons. But I don't think I'll like Fourth Wing, so I'm reading Eragon instead. Purely because Fourth Wing gives me cringe vibes. This video's gonna be too long, but yeah, it's gonna get better. I feel like it's gonna get better, especially because I started this year working night shifts, and so it really just really just ruined my vibe. It really brought my vibe down. I was gonna say, comment your favourite book so far this year down below, but at the moment it's just my little brother and my cousin and my mum, and only my mum reads, and my boyfriend, but he doesn't read either, so it doesn't matter. So I look so tired. I had a full night's sleep. See, goodbye.